Hey guys, I'm Tim LeFebvre with LeFebvre Law. Thanks for joining me. Tesla Motors has taken bold steps to introduce driverless features to its futuristic fleet of electric vehicles. But by being a pioneer, Elon Musk's ambitious electric car company has opened itself up to some unique risks. Chief among those risks is liability in the instance of death or injury while the autopilot is engaged. This heretofore hypothetical situation became a reality on May 7, 2016, on a highway in Florida when a Tesla Model S with autopilot engaged was involved in a fatal accident. Tesla's autopilot feature is a semi-autonomous feature that utilizes a vast array of sensors and cameras which allow the car to accelerate, brake, and steer under certain conditions, and provided the driver's hands are on the steering wheel. The vehicle is classified as a Level 2 autonomy by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which means the vehicle is able to handle at least two functions at the same time, such as maintaining a consistent speed on cruise control and making lane changes. No technology being flawless, it was inevitable that an accident would eventually occur, and sadly inevitable that such an accident would prove fatal. That is what occurred on May 7th, when a Tesla owner driving on a highway in Williston, Florida, died when his electric vehicle drove under the trailer of an 18-wheeler truck with the autopilot engaged. Tesla states that the autopilot sensors failed to detect the white truck against a bright May sky as it turned in front of a Model S, resulting in a fatal accident. In the wake of such a tragedy involving a novel technology, the question turns to liability. Tesla has made efforts to disclaim their own liability for such mishaps and have implemented a number of features into the autopilot in an attempt to keep the drivers engaged. But it is still early days, and whether these efforts will be sufficient remains to be seen. Now, there is the serious possibility that the family of the man killed could sue Tesla for a product's liability claim. And it's perfectly possible that a court might find that the risks associated with the autopilot were not effectively communicated to the consumer. And as a result, the consumer was not aware of the potential defects in the system and the risks that that might pose, which in this case meant death. Additionally, the branding might prove problematic. The term autopilot has a meaning in the popular vernacular. It is generally associated with a machine that essentially operates itself, typically an airplane. Now, I know technically autopilot on a plane is pretty limited in that it maintains course, altitude, speed, but it can't change course on its own. Nevertheless, in the popular imagination, autopilot does imply that the machine itself is operating itself and doesn't require much human intervention. So an argument could be made that this branding of this feature could be deceptive, lulling consumers into a false sense that the technology is more capable than it is in reality. Tesla would argue that it has many safety features associated with the autopilot feature. Among them are sensors that emit visible and audible warnings if the driver does not keep at least one hand on the wheel at all times, and will even slow the vehicle until the hand is placed back on the wheel. The manufacturer stated in a blog post that, quote, Tesla disables autopilot by default and requires explicit acknowledgement that the system is new technology and still in public beta phase before it can be enabled. This beta concept is novel to the automotive world. In the tech sector, where Elon Musk hails from, releasing a product in an early development stage is an important way to weed out bugs and improve the product before it is widely released as a final product. But in the world of automotive products liability, it is possible that this might be perceived by a judge as a rush to put a product on the market before it has been properly vetted and tested, with deadly consequences. It is worth noting that over 90% of road fatalities are the result of human error, and autonomous vehicles have the potential to significantly reduce that number as the technology matures and is more widely distributed. These benefits are extremely encouraging, but as the technology matures, we are likely to see other mishaps, and no doubt the auto industry and the tech industry are going to be paying very close attention to what regulators, lawmakers, and judges have to say about these incidents. Thanks for checking in, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please feel free to subscribe and tell your friends.